The difference between great and average developers. These are my reflections on over a decade of collaborating with dozens of people across different jobs, situations, and scenarios. And I've noticed some similar qualities in the best developers I've worked with. I try really hard to be like these developers. These are the people who are my mentors, the people I look up to, the people that inspire me, that are the most fun to collaborate with. And this isn't about, dunking on other people, but it's just about like when I see the people that I look up to, I want to be like them and I want to understand why they do what they do and what they're doing and then try to do that myself. So this is about a journey of growth and improvement. The first is they are passionate about programming. This is key. They enjoy it. It's not just a job. It's not just the punch in, punch out, 9 to 5. This is my job. I don't care about it. Now, it's not that they blow past boundaries and work 12-hour days or something like that, but they enjoy it, right? They like problem solving and building things, and that bleeds through in their work and their interactions with people. So being passionate, major. They're always learning new things. They're keeping up with what is happening in the industry and especially within the tooling that they're using, a language or a framework. So they're staying up to date with things and they're interested in that. And they're typically reading books or watching screencasts or working on personal projects. And they have time that they're spending learning just outside of when they're working because they enjoy it, because they're passionate about it. So those two things work together. But these people have hobbies too, other than programming. They're not just programmers. They might have families. They might enjoy riding bikes or hiking or doing stand-up comedy or whatever, right? But they have other things they care about and are interested too. Their entire life doesn't just revolve around programming, but programming is a major part of their life, and they have a balance there, which I think is important because when you have a little space and time away from the computer from programming, I think it makes you a better programmer. These people watch trends, but they don't change their tech every other month. They are aware of like what's new and like the direction things are trending, but they aren't just like always switching to the new hotness. Maybe they try it out or read through the docs, but it's not like every other month they're like, here's a new language we need to use, or here's a new framework we need to use, or whatever, right? They really focus on what doesn't change and the stability of that. And when you focus on what doesn't change, that's things like fundamentals of programming, design patterns, algorithms, testing, effective testing, right? Like, even if different languages have different programming paradigms, there's still a lot that is similar. And those learning different languages with different paradigms can actually help you when it comes to writing in the language you're working in. Like if you're a Rubyist and, you learned some Haskell, that Haskell learning you did will influence the way you write Ruby programs. So anyway, that's like an aside. But these people, I've noticed, they focus on what's consistent throughout programming and get really good at those foundations. And then when you get good at those foundations and skills, they apply to whatever the new technology is when things are ready to be used and changed to. So they use those new technologies and techniques when they have to solve problems that they're actively experiencing. So maybe they're really having a hard time, like if I went back 10 years, writing just CSS and the code's not very dry. Okay, well let's introduce Sass because now we have variables and mixins and we can improve the code. Writing just a bunch of styles without a technique to organize it is difficult. Okay, let's use BEM. Okay, now modern day, okay, let's use web components, right? Like things are changing rapidly. And then after years go by, they stabilize and it becomes more clear which tooling is worth taking on, like worth making use of, because it's sort of proven itself and it actively solves the issues you're having. And that's the difference between following trends and actually making use of these things as tools to solve problems you're having. And I've noticed that the best programmers that I've worked with are less interested in what's trendy and more interested in how can they solve the active problems that they're experiencing day to day at work. These people also read the source code. So let's say they're working with Ruby. You can go and read the Ruby source code. It's open source. If you're using Rails, you can go read Rails. If you're using a gem, you can read through the source and understand what it does. And that quality is so important because they then have a deeper understanding of how it does what it does and why it does it. And maybe they learn something new from it, or maybe they just better understand what it's doing, which is really valuable. These people always have a solid track record for completing challenging projects. And that is like a major differentiator, right? Is if people can take on a project that seems difficult and complete it and complete it well, and like that reliability is so major. So I always try to take on work, be realistic about it, and get it done. And the challenging projects are really important because it shows that they can learn and grow and take on new things. These people are always engaged with their work and their teammates. They are really great collaborators. They're always open to help, to pair, to bug, to take on an issue where something's wrong. They speak up and are just like engaged with their work, and they're not apathetic about it. And that makes this huge difference, right? It's less about like, I only do what I'm asked compared to like stepping up and doing things that you see need to be done. And I think that's makes a difference, and that's definitely influenced me. They drive and design their code with tests. This is probably the most specific thing about like how they code, but that's just something I've noticed is these people that I've learned from really care about writing quality tests and ensuring their code is correct and ensuring that it's easier to make changes to that code. And that is so important. And not only does it help with correctness and refactoring, but it also helps design what they're coding. And so they're looking at their code through the lens of what they expect it to do by writing tests that then design it. And that test-driven design development is something I've noticed and have tried to really focus on learning and growing it. They think about their work in a larger context. So not only they don't think about their work as in, okay, my manager asked me to do this, I'm just going to do it. Sometimes you do have to do that. But generally, they think about it as, okay, doing this work enables what? Which then enables what? Which then enables us to achieve what exactly? And what are our goals? What's the business goals? What's our team goals? Is this helping humanity? Is this hurting humanity, right? Like they understand how the work they're doing at any given moment fits into their priorities and the business's priorities. And, hopefully they all align, right? Hopefully you're doing things that are helping the business because they're employing you. Hopefully you're doing things that are helping yourself learn and grow. Hopefully you're doing things that are helping humans, do the things that they want to do, enabling or empowering them versus like destroying people or something like, so they view what they're doing, writing a line of code as, oh, this is actually allowing X, Y, or Z to happen. And that is not only inspiring and motivating, but is super important and can help you understand if like you're unhappy or displeased with the job. They take on work that isn't always prioritized. This is just constant in programming. Whether it's updating dependencies or fixing bugs or whatever, is that even if there's a process at work where issues are delegated and assigned out and the work is done, there's just things that can fall through the cracks. And they're valuable, important things that will either improve the developer experience for your team or for yourself or, fixing security vulnerabilities, that sort of thing. And I've noticed those people just step up and take that work on. So then what happens is it can have an effect where, other people then step up and share that load, or sometimes, which is unfortunate, is that people then go, oh, well, that person's going to do it. I don't know why I would do it. And that's kind of like an issue that's hard to solve. But ideally, hopefully, it's like a lead by example. And I've always viewed it that way as like, I see these people doing this work because it's important. Okay, I'm going to internalize that and try to help with that or be curious or be interested. And really important. These people are focused. They produce things, are opening pull requests, are reviewing them, are just generally getting things done and have some momentum. And I think that's really infectious. And they're just exceedingly kind and helpful, which is the most important thing, is whether it's pull request reviews, whether it's pairing, whatever it is that they're not jerks. They explain things well, they're helpful, and like, especially when working with teammates or working with a community, is that they want to help people and they want to be supportive, right? They're not grouchy, they're not grumpy. Like my favorite people to work with are those people who are excited, cheerful, enjoyable to work with, and helpful and understanding, and not punitive or condemning when things go wrong. So those are the things I've noticed. Those are like the qualities and behaviors I try to embody myself when doing work from the people I've learned from and seen. And I think that's what makes a huge difference between just like, this is a job and whatever, collect my paycheck kind of dev, and those devs who really stand out and are just like a real joy to work with. So hopefully that helps you out and gives you some inspiration and guidance on like stepping up, leveling up, and how to embody that. All right, thanks. See ya. Bye.